setting is okay for it, and now here we can see the points. Let's talk it. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michael Cesar de Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with the titles, yes, today we are roasting repeatedly Khushboo Patani in the topic of gender chromosomes. And now here we can see our today's topic is Nettie Maria Stephens versus Donald Trump. And now here we can see in accordance with my previous live stream, you know that's how in the demonstration story, Khushboo Patani, the Indian Army formal majors, is planning to change some significant person's genders, and today's significant person is the Honorable United States President Donald Trump. And now, now here is the disclaimer: is that in real life, Donald Trump is against the gender change policy. But and in the demonstration stories, we can say that how Indian Army formal major Khushboo Patani wants to uh, conduct a missions to change Donald Trump's genders. Okay, let's see. Well, here we can see here the momentum as we can notify it. Well, here is the point to be noted, my lord. Here it is the points Khushboo Patani, and Khushboo Patani's asset is Venezuelan President Disney Rodriguez, and the operation name is Operation American Nettie Stephens. Okay. And what is the purpose of operations? The purpose of operations is to change the gender of Donald Trump. Okay, let's see. Now here is Donald Trump before gender change. And in real life, Donald Trump is against the gender change policy. But in demonstration story, we would talk about that's how Khushboo Patani wants to change Donald Trump's genders, uh, where her asset is Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez. Okay, and now here we can see. Let's go. Now let's see what happened if Donald Trump change his genders. Okay. Now here is the women versions of Donald Trump's, and the after gender change, the Donald Trump name is Dilruba Rahman. Okay. Now here I would repeat it that Donald in the real life Donald Trump is against the gender change policies, but now Khushboo Patani wants to change Donald Trump's genders. Hence, she studies about uh, Nettie Maria Stephens in the topic of gender chromosomes. Okay. Now let's see. Here we can say the points. Uh, uh, well, and uh, now we can talk about what if Donald Trump would never change his gender, and what if Donald Trump would change his genders. Okay. Now here we can see Indian Army formal Major Khushboo Patani is angry with United States President Donald Trump. And what is the cause? The cause is Donald Trump is against the policy where he has to change his genders. Okay, and here we can say the points. Uh, Here I would like to hide the unnecessary moments. Oh, here it is the necessary. Well, now let's see the points. Man Donald Trump plans to attack the communist Venezuela. Here deport is Los Angeles of United States of America and arrival cities San Fernando de Apure, Venezuela. Okay. Now here flying distance is 6,000 kilometers and the flying time is 1 second. And here half of weight of F-35 plane is 100,000 kilograms. And now let's see if Delcy Rodriguez can change Donald Trump's gender in the command of Khushboo Patani, you can say what would happen. One, two, okay. Now here the point would be occurs is that uh, women Donald Trump would plan to attack communist Venezuela. Departure is same. Los Angeles, United States of America, and arrival is San Fernando de Apure, Venezuela. Okay. चल कुड़िए थे शुक्रन and the flying distance is 6,000 kilometers and but now here flying time is 400 hours one and what is the conversions चल चल मेरे हाँ शुक्रन and habibi and here we can say the points. Well, in this time, the flying time is 400 hours. Okay, now here I would tell you that why women Donald Trump contains F-35 where the flying distance is 6,000 kilometers and flying time is 400 hours when man Donald Trump contains F-35 containing the flying distance of 6,000 kilometers in the flying time of 1 second. Okay. How are you? Well, I am fine. Thank you. And now, here we can see that what was happening in here. Well, and now here we can see in several live streams, I have mentioned that here man loves the high speed vehicles. In this case, the topic is the Donald Trump. The man Donald Trump loves the high speed of F-35 fighter planes. Here, when President is man Donald Trump, the F-35 fighter plane can contain 6,000 km per second, 12,000 km per second, 18,000 km per second, and 36,000 km per second. Oh my other nice. Here, when we would say about 36,000 km per second, here we would calculate the kinetic powers accordance with Albert Einstein. And for Isaac Newtonian kinetic powers equations, here we can say that man Donald Trump loves the F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of highest velocity of almost 29,000 kilometers per second. And here we can say the point is the kinetic distance is 6,000 kilometers and kinetic flying time is 1 second. Here we man always love. And now here we can say here my home is at the New York cities and of United States of America, where my grandfather's house is New Mexico, and the distance is 9,000 kilometers per 9,000 kilometers. And here we can, accordance with the man Donald Trump, I can travel from my town, New York, town of New York City to my grandfather's house in Mexico City of Mexico. We can travel it into it with the flying time of 1 second. And here now recently, here we can say the Nicolas Maduro was arrested in the Brooklyn prison of New York City of United States of America, where Nicolas Maduro was formal uh, president of communist Venezuela. And here, in the period of man Donald Trump, Nicolas Maduro has been arrested in 1 second because here we can say in the flying times in 1 second, F-35 fighter planes could travel 6,000 kilometers in 1 second, where the departure is Los Angeles and demonstrated departure is Los Angeles and the demonstrated arrival is San Fernando de Apure. Here. And here we can see the points. And here, this is the points what Donald Trump can do. And now let's back to the demonstration points. In the real points, Nicolas Maduro has been arrested in 1 second by United States Air Force in Venezuela. Okay. Now here we can see the demonstration stories. We can say Donald Trump can attack from Los Angeles of United States of America to San Fernando de Apure of Venezuela. Here, departure accordance with Los Angeles, California time zones. Departure's time is almost January 14 at 6 o'clock, and the arrival time is January 14 at morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past. Here is the point. The man Donald Trump had permitted the orders to F-35 fighter planes. Hence, that F-35 fighter planes can could arrest Nicolas Maduro in 1 second, where departure time was January 14, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, and the arrival time is January 14, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past. And here, and in these points, communist Venezuelan terrorists could not prepare any more against the United States Air Force particularly F-35 fighter planes. And this is the points the man can love the high speed of F-35 fighter planes. And in this case, where topic is Mission Venezuela, Donald Trump loves F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 6,000 kilometer per second, where departure is Los Angeles of United States of America and the arrival is almost San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela. But now, let's say the points that what if Khushboo Patani can change the gender of Donald Trump in the demonstration stories with the help of uh, Delcy Rodriguez, the Iran Venezuelan women terrorist. Then what would happen? We could see the women Donald Trump to plan to attack the communist Venezuelan terrorist. Here the departure is same Los Angeles of United States of America and the arrival is San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela. But the difference is that here where distance is 6,000 kilometers, the difference is that the flying time would be 400 hours in lieu of 1 second. And what is the points here I would explain you. Okay. Now, as a humans, here human flying period is 12 hours per seconds. Okay. Say hi. Salam. Okay. And now, let's see the points is that now how we can calculate 400 hours. Okay, now a human can fly 12 hours per day. Okay, now what is the division of 40 by 12? That is here 12 multiplied by 3 is 36. Here we can say 400 divided by 12 is here 12 multiplied by 30 is 360. And again, we can say 40, 12 multiplied by 3 is equal to 36. And we can say the points, the 400 hours means 33 days, 4 hours. Okay. Now let's see that how women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane would works. Okay. Here the purpose is to arrest Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela. Well, the Los Angeles, accordance with the California time zone, Los Angeles would depart at January 14 at here we can see morning 6 o'clock, but this times F-35 fighter plane would arrive on San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela, accordance with in California time zone. The time would be arrival time would be at the February 16 morning 10 o'clock. Arrival time is January 14 at morning 6 o'clock and is the departure times, and the arrival time is uh, February 16 at morning 10 o'clock. Now, in this delay of 33 days, 4 hours, here we can say Nicolas Madure could prepare himself uh, to attack Los Angeles with 1 minute, and that is the significant negative points can be dangerous. Here the significant negative points can be dangerous at the moment. Well, we would discuss later the Sukhoi 37s, here we can say. But now, here let's see the first difference. The first difference is here we can, uh, first difference, man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane with the velocity of 6,000 km per second, where uh, women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane can travel 6,000 km per 400 hours. That means the velocity would be 15 kilometers per hour. Where is 6,000 km per second and where is 15 km per hour? That is the huge difference. Okay. And now here we can see the points. 400 multiplied by 36 hundreds. 36 E4. That would be almost 144 E4. I mean, that means almost 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 times velocity difference that women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane is slower than man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes. And here we can see that is the achievements of man Donald Trump. And here is the reasons that why Khushboo Patani is angry that she could not change Donald Trump's gender in the real life, and she was planning to change Donald Trump's gender with the help of Jelebi Rodriguez, the women terrorist of Venezuelan communist terrorist group. And here we can see the points, that is the nature of the moments. And okay, now here we can, how Khushboo Patani could how Khushboo Patani could plan to change the gender of United States President Donald Trump. That is the simple. Because Khushboo Patani is studying about what? The gender chromosomes, and the gender chromosomes women scientist is about our honorable girl Nettie Maria Stephens. Well, Nettie Maria Stephens was researching about the gender chromosomes, and generally Nettie Maria Stephens was researching about how we can change man's genders, hence that the man can change his gender to become a woman. And here is the point that I believe that why the Donald Trump is against the policy of gender change in the real life, because in domestic stories where man Donald Trump contains F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 6,000 kilometers per second, women Donald Trump contains the velocity of contains F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 15 kilometers per hour. Hours. Now here we can say that why in real life man Donald Trump is against the policy of gender change. Here is the first difference between man Donald Trump and women Donald Trump. And now here we can see, let's see the second significant difference as we can notify. Well, here we can say the kinetic accordance with man Donald Trump, the kinetic power is 3.6 trillion megawatts, where okay, accordance with women Donald Trump, here kinetic power is 1.51 watt. Okay. Now here we can say that how we can calculate the kinetic powers of man Donald Trump. Here I can discuss it. Okay. And here we can say the point is now let's topic about second difference. Okay. The second difference is that we know the kinetic, the equation of kinetic power is half of weight of F-35 fighter planes and multiple applications of the distance squared divided by travel time cube. Now, when we contains manned Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes, let's see. The velocity is 6,000 kilometers per 1 second. And what is the result? The flying distance is 1 second and distance is 6,000 kilometers. Now, as a calculation, we can say we know that 1 square is equal to 1 cube is equal to 1 to the power 7 is equal to 1 to the power 666. And because the value is 1. Well, here now let's see that what is the points of the kinetic powers. Before inputting the flying time, the equation of kinetic power was kinetic power equal to half of weight of F-35 fighter planes multiplied by distance squared divided by travel time cube. But when we could input the flying time as 1 second, here the observation is that kinetic power is kinetic energy, because 1 square is equal to 1 cube. And what is 1? That is flying time of 1 second. And here the equation becomes half of weight of F-35 fighter planes multiplied by distance squared. Okay, and here we can see what is the input of the flying distance. that is 6,000 kilometers. That means it is 6 million meters. We can write 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Okay. Now here the distance square is now here the distance square is uh, 6 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square. Now we know that here 6 the multiplication between 6 plus 2 is 12 and 6 square is 36. Hence here 10 to the power 6 square is 10 to the power 12. And the multiplication is between 10 to the power 12 and 10 to the power 5 is the summation of 5 and 12. And that is 10 to the power 17. Okay. Now here the answer of kinetic power is 10 to the power 17 multiplied by 36. That is almost 3.6 quintillion watt. That means 3.6 trillion megawatts. That is our significant moments. And now let's see that at what is the points. And this is the kinetic powers of F-35 fighter planes in the mission Venezuela, where president is man Donald Trump. Now let's see what about the women Donald Trump. Okay, and here we can notify this just for a moment. Here the women Donald Trump contains kinetic powers with 1.51 watts, and here I can calculate that's what's going on. When the president is women Donald Trump, here kinetic power of F-35 fighter planes is equation is half of weight of F-35 fighter planes multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. Well, how old? And here the travel time is 400 hours, but travel distance is still 6,000 kilometers. Now here we can see what's going on about kinetic powers. Okay, let's see. Now here we can see the kinetic power is the significant moments. Here the equations when we can cube the flying time, we know that what is 400 hours, that is almost 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. And here we can see what is 144. That is here 4 multiplied by 36. Oh, okay. Now, what is 144 square? That is 4 square multiplied by 36 square. And what is 144 cube? That is 4 cube multiplied by 6 to the power 6. Because here 6 to the power 6 is 36 cube. Okay. Now what is 4 cube? That is 64. Oh, and let's find out what is the 10 to the power 4 cube. Okay. Now the 10 to the power 4 cube is the multiplication of 4 and 3. That is when here the 10 to the power 4 cube is 10 to the power 12. And we know that 10 to the power 6 square is 10 to the power 12. Here the division between 10 to the power 12 and by 10 to the power 12 is 1. And here we can see that's our find out, that is 10 to the power 5 is still 10 to the power 5. Okay, now the calculation begins here 10 to the power of 5 multiplied by 36 uh, divided by bracket of 64 multiplied by 6 to the power 6 enter bracket close. And now here we can say the observations. What is the division of 36 by 6 to the power 6? That is 1 divided by 6 to the power 4. That because that is almost here 36, 1 divided by 36 square. Well, and now that becomes 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 1 divided by bracket of 64 multiplied by 6 to the power 4. And the entire result is 1.51 watts. And now here we can say our next points as the moments. Okay. The next point of the moment is that here we can say the difference between man Donald Trump and women Donald Trump with the kinetic power of F-35 fighter planes. And now here we can, now let's see where man Donald Trump contains F-35 with the velocity of 6,000 km per second. It can contains the kinetic power of 3.6 trillion megawatt. But when we could change the gender of Donald Trump, women Donald Trump contains the kinetic F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 6,000 kilometers per 400 hours. That means 50 kilometers per hour. And as an effect, the kinetic power is 1.51 watts. Now here we can see where is the kinetic power of 3.6 trillion megawatts and where is 1.51 watts. And here we can say the when your plane contains the kinetic power of 3.6 trillion megawatts, here you can travel 6,000 kilometers as the flying distance with the flying time of 1 second. But if you want to contain the kinetic powers of 1.51 watts, hence the problem is that the velocity would be 50 kilometers per hour. Oh my Adonai. It is less velocity than the velocity of a air balloon in the period of dinosaur eras. And that is the significant moments at the points. And here we can see that is the reasons that why Donald Trump is against the gender change policies, and as he is studying in the school life, his Donald Trump study is that Thomas Hunt Morgan is the real scientist uh, is to research about gender chromosomes. And as an effect, uh, Thomas and Donald Trump could find out that and how he can produce more sons and less daughters at the moment because Donald Trump feels the problems about uh, his daughters. Uh, and Donald Trump does not support the daughters because women eats 36 kilograms breads in 1 month when man eats 6 kilograms in 1 month. Here, that is the reasons in the expenditure to purchasing breads why we need more son because 60 son can eat a particular measurement of weight of bread equal to one daughter's hers. Hence, still, Donald Trump believes that Thomas Hunt Morgan is the real scientist to research about gender chromosome. But now, here we can see Khushboo Patani is angry with Donald Trump because Donald Trump believes Thomas Hunt Morgan is the real scientist to research the gender chromosomes. And here, Khushboo Patani's mission is to enter the belief in Donald Trump mindsets that not Thomas and Morgan's. Nettie Maria Stephens is the real scientist to research the gender chromosomes. And when Donald Trump accomplished to make I mean, when Khushbu Patani accomplished to believe, make Donald Trump believe that Nettie Maria Stephens is the real scientist to research the gender chromosomes, Donald Trump would like to change his genders, and that is Khushbu Patani's wish. And here, the Khushbu Patani's asset is Delcy Rodriguez, the current president of communist Venezuela after Nicolas Maduro. Okay. And here we can see when Donald Trump can change his gender to become a woman before arresting Nicolas Maduro, Nicolas Maduro can get 33 days, 4 hours time to prepare the Venezuelan Communist Air Force to attack Los Angeles. But here, in the real life, Donald Trump did not change his genders. Hence, he could attack Nicolas Maduro with the kinetic powers of 3.6 trillion megawatts, where the probable departure is Los Angeles, and the probable arrival is San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela, where the flying distance is 6,000 kilometers and flying time is 1 second. Okay. Now here we can see what about the third problems. I mean, what about the third difference as we can notify? Okay, and now here, just for a momentums, and here we can see, let's see, man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane contains artificial solar fuel system where fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six million triple six thousand triple six degrees Celsius, where we can notify women Donald Trump containing the F-35 fighter planes contains the fuel technology where fuel system is petrols. The cost is 21 United States dollars, 21 United States cents per 1 liters. Now let's check about what about the man Donald Trump's. Okay, well, now here we can see the man Donald Trump's necessary fuel is 3.58 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six million triple six thousand 640 picograms, where we can see the women Donald Trump contains the fuel expenditure of 4,784 United States dollars, because here necessary fuel volume is 22,777 liters. And now let's check that how man Donald Trump can get the less lighter weight of fuels. Here it is the discussions of it. Okay. Now here we can see when when the travel time is 1 second, kinetic power is kinetic energy. And here we can see, just for a moment, here we can see the man Donald Trump contains the velocity of 6,000 kilometers per 1 second. Here, the flying distance between Los Angeles and San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela, is 6,000 kilometers, and the flying time is 1 second. And here we can see here kinetic power is kinetic energy, and the kinetic power's equation is half of weight of distance square. Half of weight of F-35 fighter plane multiplied by distance square. And now here we know the thermal energy. The thermal energy is energy, heat energy spent by fuel. Here the fuel thermal energy is equation is eta, the engine capability, multiplied by fuel specific heat multiplied by fuel temperatures. And here we can say the what is the equations of engine capability? That is kinetic energy divided by the thermal energies, where thermal energy is here we can see not eta, that is weight of fuel multiplied by specific heat of fuel multiplied by temperature of fuels. Now here we know that's thermal engine capability is 98%. On the other hand, our fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. Hence, the beautiful point is that here the specific heat of artificial solar arc reactors is 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. On the other hand, here we got the temperatures as mentioned already. And here we do not know what is the artificial solar weights. And here why we are using artificial solar weight equal to kinetic power divided by bracket of engine capability multiplied by artificial solar specific heat multiplied by artificial solar temperature, bracket close. Because here we know that when the travel time is 1 second, kinetic power is kinetic energy. And here flying time is mentioned 1 second. Hence here we can say we could input kinetic energy as kinetic powers, that is 3.6 trillion megawatts. And what is the connection of joules? That is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 joules. And now we have every inputs. Now here we can see as in calculations, the calculated artificial solar weight is 3.58 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,655 kilograms. Because here the temperature is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666,666 degrees Celsius. And here we forgot the points, that is 1 kilogram is 10 to the power 15 picograms. And here the topic is that 3.58 we got the artificial solar weight at us 3.58 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,666,640 picograms as a fuel weight. And that is the significant weight. That is the modern technology. But now here we can see what about if the Donald Trump, the United States President, would have changed his genders and became women's. Now let's see the significant negative effects. Now the significant negative effect is women Donald Trump choose always the petrol fuel technologies. Here the recent cost is 0.21 multiplied by 10 to the power 0.21 United States dollars per liters. Okay. Now here we can see the necessary petrol departures. Here we can notify. Well, here we can see the equation is 0.21 United States dollar per liter multiplied by kinetic energy divided by thermal energy. Now when the fuel is petrol, the thermal energy equation is here petrol volume multiplied by density of petrol multiplied by specific heat of petrols multiplied by temperature difference of petrols. when the initial temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's get the points. Uh, when initial temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, in automobile world, the petrol the highest temperature difference is 50 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the specific heat of petrols? That is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Okay. And what is the density of petrol? That is 0.777 10 the density of petrol is 0.778 kilogram per liters. Okay, and we have to find out the petrol volumes. Well, now here we can see the equation of engine capability is kinetic energy divided by petrol thermal energies, and the engine capability is 98%. Here we can notify this that it is the inputs we can say. Okay, now we do not know what is the kinetic energy of women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes. Now let's see. Well, here distance is 6,000 kilometers. Here distance square is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter squares. Okay. Now half of weight is of course 100,000 kilograms. Now let's see here the point is distance is square we can notify the moments here we can see the travel time is 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 and the square travel time square is 144 square multiplied by 10 to the power 4 squares. Now as my observations here we can see what is 144, that is 4 multiplied by 36. Okay, now let's see 144 what is 144 square? That is 4 square multiplied by 36 squares. Here we can see 4 square is 16 and 36 square is 6 to the power 4. Okay, let's see. Here we can see the points 10. What is 10 to the power 4 square? That is 10 to the power 8. Now let's see what is the divisions of 10 to the power 17 by 10 to the power 8. Just like the subtraction from 17 by 8, that is also always here we can say that is 10 to the power 9. Now let's see what about the calculations. The calculations is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 9 enter divided by bracket of 16 multiplied by 6 to the power 4 multiplied by 98 multiplied by 0.778. Okay, and here what is the result? The result is 22,777 liter, the volume of petrols. Okay, and what is the expenditures? That is 4,784 United States dollars. But now let's see what if the cost United States of markets, the petrol cost is would be still 1 United States dollars, that is that would be 22,777 United States dollars because of the velocity of 6,000 kilometers per 400 hours. Okay, now here we can say the short points. The short points is where we can see now when man when we got United States President's man Donald Trump, here our F-35 fighter plane would attack on Venezuela, particularly San Fernando de Apure, to arrest Nicolas Maduro with the velocity of 6,000 kilometers per 1 second. Here, the necessary fuel weight is 3.58 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,640 picograms as artificial solar weight, because artificial solar arc, the fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. But now, before arresting Nicolas Maduro, where can get the women Donald Trump as women presidents of United States of America. Here our kinetic here our F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 15 kilometer per hour, where the flying distance is 6,000 kilometers and the flying time is 400 hours. And here we can see and here the necessary petrol volume is 22,777 liter of petrols. Now, where is 3.58 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,666,640 picograms of artificial solar weight, and where 22,777 liters of the volume of petrols. Now here we can see how fuel technology can be backward if we can change the gender of Donald Trump, the United States presidents, and that Khushboo Patani wants to do this, and hence there is the reasons that why Khushboo Patani's asset is Delcy Rodriguez to yes, the president of communist Venezuela after Nicolas Maduro. Because here we can see if accordance with the Delcy Rodriguez and Khushboo Patani, if Khushboo Patani's team could not change the gender of Donald Trump, Khushboo Patani and Delcy Rodriguez could not be saved from Donald Trump's victory F-35 fighter planes. Here we can say that can arrest Nicolas Maduro in San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela, with the travel distance of 6,000 kilometers with the flying time of 1 second. Hence, and that is and here Nicolas Maduro could not get any preparation against F-35 fighter planes. And now here Nicolas Maduro can prepare against F-35 fighter planes if and only if United States of America contains women presidents or the current man president can change his gender to become women's. And that is Khushboo Patani is wish, that is Delcy Rodriguez's wish, and that is Nicolas Maduro's wish. And here is the reasons that why Donald Trump is against gender changing policies. Hence, in the real life, Donald Trump always deny the Nettie Maria Stevens as scientist to research the gender chromosomes. And now, here's the points that why Khushboo Patani and Rodri Rodriguez believes the Nettie Maria Stevens is the real scientist to research the gender chromosomes because since just because that since Nettie Maria Stevens is women to be scientists to research about the gender chromosomes. Here is the plus point for Khushboo Patani and Delcy Rodriguez that how we can plan to change the gender of any man presidents of United States of America where it doesn't matter we contains biological man or biological women. United States would contains always women presidents. And that is the missions of both of Khushboo Patani and what about the points? Delcy Rodriguez. And probably here we can notify. Now we can check here. Nettie Maria Stephens research is about to change the gender of D. Roosevelt, the President of United States of America during the World War II. Who? What is the cause? Because Nettie Maria Stevens wished that in 1922 to 2025, in the last 100 years, when the last years of the 100 years would be 2026, there would be no presidents to be man, to be presidents of United States of America. It doesn't matter if it should be biological man or biological woman. The presidents of United States of America would be always women. That is the missions of Nettie Maria Stevens. And that's follow in the cause Khushboo Patani believe Nettie Maria Stevens is a woman to be real scientist to research the gender chromosomes, and that is the belief of Delcy Rodriguez. And here their mission is to change gender of Donald Trump, the man United States president. And here is the reason what I have mentioned. But it is only where departure is Los Angeles and arrival is San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela. But what if here the departure of F-35 fighter planes would be uh, the departures of F-35 fighter planes would be here Chicago, and the arrival would be the another cities of Venezuela. Let's check it. Okay. And here we can see the notifications that points. Okay. Now here we can notify the moments. Well, here we can see the man Donald Trump planned to attack communist Venezuela. Here, departure is Chicago, United States of America, and the arrival is San Jose de uh, Colorado, the city of Venezuela. Here, flying distance is 4,500 kilometers, and the flying time is 1 second. And now, here we can notify if the Donald Trump, the United States president, can change his genders, then what would got is here everything is same, but the flying time would be 200 hours in lieu of 1 second. Okay, and now here is going on as our points. Okay, now here let's check it is the significant achievements as we can notify. Well, the Indian Army formal measures Khushboo Patanis can be satisfied with her assets Delcy Rodriguez if Donald Trump can change his gender to become a woman. Okay. Now here we can say here departure is what is the departure? The departure is Los Angeles of United. I apologize. The departures is about Chicago of United States of America. And what about the arrivals? The arrivals is San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela. Here flying distance would be 4,500 kilometers. Now here when man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes can depart at Chicago and arrive on San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela, with the flying distance of 4,500 kilometers with the travel times of 1 second. Women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane can travel 4,500 kilometers in 200 hours. Now let's see that what is flying time of 1 second and what is flying time of 200 hours. Okay. Now let's see here what about the 200 hours? Well, what is the subtraction from 200 by 120? That is 80. And here we can see what is the multiplications of 12 and 6, that is 72. What is subtractions from 80 by 72? That is 8. Okay. Now here the points to be notified, my lords. Well, here we can see when man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane can depart Chicago at the Chicago time of uh, January 14, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock. F-35 fighter plane can arrive on San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela, at January 14, 2026 at 6 o'clock 1 second past. Where departure and arrival is the same date. Departure is morning 6 o'clock and arrival is morning 6 o'clock 1 second past. And here we can see that's the difference. But when Khushboo Patani can change the gender of Donald Trump to make Donald Trump the women United States president, uh, F-35 fighter plane can depart Chicago at the Chicago time January 14, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, and the F-35 fighter plane can arrive in San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela, at January 30 at afternoon 4 o'clock. It is the delay of 16 day 8 hours. Now here we can see 16 days 8 hours of the flying delays. Here Nicolas Maduro can Nicolas Maduro can be prepared to attack the Chicago of United States of America. And here Nicolas Maduro plane would be Sukhoi 37, the fighter plane made in Russia under Vladimir Putin. Okay. Now here we can say Vladimir Putin is relevant just because Sukhoi 37, the Venezuelan fighter plane, is made in Russia under Vladimir Putin. That is only Vladimir Putin's relevance in these stories. Now here we can see here the points we can notify this. When we can change the gender of the United States presidents to where hence that United States of presidents can become the women's, and here we can see from the departure times 16 days 8 hours. Nicolas Maduro got time to prepare to attack the Chicago, the city of United States of America. But if Donald Trump did not change his genders, as a real life Donald Trump remains man, he did not change his gender in the real life. Hence here we can see F-35 fighter plane can depart Chicago of United States of America, and in the flying distance of 4,500 kilometers, F-35 fighter plane can attack on San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela, in 1 second. And here uh, uh, here we can see Nicolas Maduro could not get any time to prepare and hence he was arrested. And now here we can see that is the significant moments as that can be notified. Okay, now here we can see what about the kinetic powers of man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes? That is here we can say 2.025 trillion megawatts. When what about the women Donald Trump contains the F-35 fighter planes? That would be here 5.426 watts. Well, now here we can see. Now let's see about the velocities. The man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane velocity is 45,000 kilometer per second. But here, women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes velocity is 22.5 kilometer per hour. Now here we can see man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane is we can now is almost here 72 multiple by 10 to the power 4 times faster than women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes. And what about the kinetic powers? Here we can see man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane kinetic powers is 2.025 trillion megawatts. On the other hand, women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter plane kinetic power is 5.426 watts. Now let's see the points here. Now let's check it. Well, I forgot my calculations. Here, I love my calculators. My calculators, are you here? 2025 divided by 5.5. Okay, 368.2. Okay, now here we can see well, now here we can say the man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes is almost 369 quadrillion times more powerful than women Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes. And now here we can see that is the significant points that how women Donald Trump is the shameful points for the sovereignty of United States of America where enemy is communist Venezuela. Okay, and here we can see the points. Well, now let's see zero. Now let's see what about the moments. Here we could say the notifications points at sometimes. Well, Tony Stark would say this sometimes Tony Stark have the to make the calculations properly. Okay, well, and here we can see the significant journey at we got the points. Okay, and here you can see man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes. Fuel technology is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,000,000 666,000 degrees Celsius, where women what is the women Donald Trump contains running F-35 fighter plane fuel technology, that is petrol, where market United States market cost is 0.21 United States dollars per 1 liter petrols. Okay, here we can see the necessary of fuel weights is here we can see. Okay, now let's see how we can calculate the kinetic power of 2.025 trillion megawatt of man Donald Trump uh, containing F-35 fighter planes. And here we can see, let's check the points. Okay, now here we know the distance square is 45 square multiplied by, here we can see 5 squares. I mean, uh, I mean 10 to the power 5 squares. Now what is 10 to the power 5 squares? That is 10 to the power 15. What is the multiplications between 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 10? That is 10 to the power 15. I apologize to say 10 to the power 15 as the as 10 to the power 5 square. The correct answer would be 10 to the power 5 square is 10 to the power 10s, and the multiplication of 10 to the power 10s and 10 to the power 5 is 10 to the power 15. Okay, now let's see, here we can see what is 45 squares. We know that what is 45, that is 15 multiplied by 3, and for the hence the 45 square is 15 square multiplied by 9, because 3 square is 9. Okay, now let's see what is 15 square, that is 225. Okay, 225 multiplied by 9 is here 2250 subtract by 225, and that is here we can say to 2025 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 watts, that is 2.025 trillion megawatts. Okay, or we can say it 2025 billion megawatts. Now let's see, here we can say the input additions. Well, that is the input of power, so when the kinetic power is kinetic energy if the travel time is 1 second. And here we can say the here necessary of artificial solar weight is 2.11 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,640 picograms. And here the points is notified, so here that we can calculate. Okay, my calculation can be flow, you can check it, where input is 225 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules, as kinetic energy is engine capability is 98%, Fuel specific heat is 15,400 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, and the temperature is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 million 666,000 degrees Celsius. And that is here the fuel weights. Uh, you can check the fuel weights, and the fuel where the fuel is artificial solar arc reactor. That is man Donald Trump containing F-35 fighter planes fuel technology. But now we can let's check what if we can change the gender of Donald Trump. Let's see. The effect is significant negatives. Okay. Well, here significant negative effects as we can see. That is the significant negative effect is that I think here the time is now I think over. So I can say just one point. Now, when women, we got United States presidents as women Donald Trump. Well, here we have mentioned that F-35 fighter plane would contain the fuel technology of petrol technologies. Here, petrol volume we can say petrol volume is 51,245 liters of petrols. When the marketplace, United States marketplace cost is 0.21 United States dollars per liters. Hence, the market, according to the marketplace, the necessary fuel expenditure is almost 11,000 United States dollars. Okay, and here that is the significant points in the moments. It is the significant points that Donald Trump can attack Venezuela in the half ladies styles, I mean the transgender styles, because the hence Khushboo Patanis would be satisfied with her asset Dulcie Rodriguez in the mission of operations American Nettie Maria Stephens to change Donald Trump's gender. And that is the significant negative. Here is the point that why Donald Trump hates the gender changing policy in the real life, and why here we can say Donald Trump hates the gender changing policy, because if United States man president can change his gender to become a woman, here we can say Nicolas Maduro or Dulcie Rodriguez can get 16-day, 8 hours time to prepare to attack Chicago in 1 minute, where Sukhoi 37 fighter plane departure would be San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela. And that is the negative points as we can see, we can say it. And here is the points that here why we hate Nettie Maria Stephens. And now I understand that why Khushboo Patani believes Nettie Maria Stephens as women to be real scientists to research the gender chromosomes, because it is proportional for Khushboo Patani to change the gender of United States man President Donald Trump, and that is the significant negative points for the sovereignty for United States of America. But our Khushboo Patani is anti-Americans, hence she could see it as a positive effects at the moment. Now here we can say, here is my points I have mentioned, and here is the every points we could see as we get a research. Now, now we have mentioned San Fernando de Apure, the city of Venezuela. We have mentioned San Jose de Colorado, the city of Venezuela. But what about Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela? Here we have nothing to mention its. Well, it can be already mentioned. Okay. Now let's see you then. Uh, but here, at the moment here, I would see you with the next topic of gender chromosomes, where I would roast Khushboo Patani. And here we can say the significant persons of governmental persons of United States of America at the gender change policy, and what is the topic, and here we would discuss that why we hate uh, Nettie Maria Stevens as a women scientist to research the gender chromosome, where the topic is the another governmental persons of United States of America. Okay, see you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you. Call me away.